Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to New Right Network's original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, explaining it to you, showing you the fake news, which is out of control today, guys. I'm just beside myself with how much fake news is out there. But we're got it on display right here and giving you the real news every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And then right after the show is the Wayne Dupree Show from 8 to 9. So you've got 2 hours of solid back-to-back, non-stop information, real news, exposing the fake news. And as we see it today, guys, it's unbelievable what Donald Trump has to put up with, what we, the American citizens, have to put up with when it comes to the fake news, the propaganda, the gaslighting of an entire party and somewhat even, maybe even an entire generation. But we'll straighten it all out and give you all the facts today. As we get started, this isn't part of the show notes, but it should have been, but it's not. The EU shoots down Boris Johnson's Brexit plan within moments of him becoming the leader of the party. Guys, this Brexit thing, the problem with Brexit, the number one problem with Brexit is that you've got what we refer to as deep staters. You've got employees in the government in Britain from all the way down, starting at the very bottom, from cops on the street, going on up through lawyers and judges and all the way up through the system that are absolutely just locking people up for speaking. I don't know how you're going to Brexit when you've got problems that are beyond separating from the European Union, the globalist powers that be that got a hold of England a long, long time ago. And we see in Conspiracy World War I where England literally became the hegemony, if you will, for globalism. And that's where it all began. They were going to conquer the world through the globalist agenda, the New World Order. That's where it began. And there's so many deep staters involved in this that I just don't. I mean, keep fighting a good fight, guys. Don't give up. Don't roll over and don't go to sleep. But, man, my heart goes out to you as we over here on the other side of the pond fighting desperately to hold on to our nationalism, desperately to fight back at these the folks that are calling us racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe. As when you're the guy saying, "No, I'm not racist," it's almost like you've already lost it. So we've got to counter punch. And something else I was talking with my cousin earlier today about is that folks like Jack Posobiec and people like myself and my cousin as well, is that we are in a full-blown war mode, if you will. So when it's about the news and it's about the media and exposing the fake news, I'm going to say things about these individuals and I'm going to make statements about these people that are absolutely true. I'm never going to lie to you about them, but I'm going to absolutely hammer home who they are and what they're doing. And there's things that people are going to say that, it's wartime. All fair is love and war. We've got clips, and it's a family-friendly show, so I bleep out the cuss words and stuff like that. But man, I'm telling you right now, people are so angry. They're so fired up. You got a huge swath, a big giant part of the black community that is just so rabidly angry with the way the Democrats have been treating the entire black community nationwide for the last 60, 70 years. It has been awful. You and I know, though, that the Democrats have been treating the black community like this going all the way back to the founding of our country. And the Civil War was fought because, well, us Republicans believe in freedom of speech, believe in the right to bear arms, believe that you should have your own destiny and guide your own course and be at it. And that not only that, but our Christian faith also teaches us that all men are created equal. Democrats weren't this upset since we stole their slaves from them. Tongue in cheek, folks, tongue in cheek. Like I said, that's the way this goes. It's wartime, guys, and we've got to stay at it and be on top of it. This is the first time I've been on the show. Crush the share, crush the follow. If you're on the show, crush the share, crush the follow. And so if you jump down in the description below, you're going to see a bunch of different links. There's a link for the Wayne Dupree Show. So right after this show, you can watch him. iHeartRadio is there as well if you want to listen to it audio only. Make sure you bookmark it so you never miss a show. Telegram. If you are missing shows, a lot of people are shadow banned. They don't get the show because, well, Twitter doesn't like what we say and we speak the truth. Get the Telegram app. We've had a handful of new people join our group in Telegram, and I welcome every one of you on board so that you can watch the show early. You can get involved. You have all the show notes, and you won't miss a single thing. And speaking of the show notes, it says full show notes down there. That link, share that link with your friends and your family because that is the full show notes. All 3 pages, usually about 3 pages, and the show embedded in the notes so that your friends and your family can watch the show and follow along in the show notes. And that is what makes this show so special and so much different is that we actually bring you the patriots every single day. The ones that are tweeting out, the ones who are actually reporting on the news, the ones who are putting up great articles and great commentary as well. And then we also have a little bit of fun with it, putting up great memes and things from our good buddy Saul Memes and Carpe Dunktum. And so you want to click the link, and that'll take you over to Twitter if you're on Twitter. And so you can follow these great patriots and these individuals, and a lot of them will follow you back. So if you're trying to build your Twitter following, this is a great way to get started right here in the show notes. And speaking about the show notes, the show's going to be at the very top. I've been doing a lot, almost every show, Trump news, and we'll talk about some good stuff that's going on with Trump, how he's making a difference in the world, deserving of the Nobel Peace Prize. There's no question about that, guys. But the difference he's making in the world as well as in America. Spygate is back. We got some new developments on Spygate. We got Adam Schiff talking about Spygate, and Robert Mueller is set to testify this week, so I'm imagining that's why it's coming back. Something that's breaking overnight having to do with Ilhan Omar. You got to stay on top of this kind of stuff. And then we've got a bombshell report from Rush Limbaugh. If you listen to him every day, you may already know the bombshell, but I'm going to entertain this, and I want to talk about this, and I just want to give you my thoughts on the bombshell that we're going to talk about 2020 election as we round out the show with some Trump derangement syndrome and how to protect yourself with this 2020 election, what to do, what not to do, and then the economy. We got to touch on the economy because nobody else is doing it except our good buddies over at Varney and Company doing it, just doing a great job. I absolutely recommend that show. I love watching Varney and Company. And if we got time, there's a video that's circulating saying that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. Okay. And I'm not laughing at the fact, but the video, and is it doctored? Is it not? We'll entertain the video. We'll talk about it if we got time left over. If she is dead, God rest her soul, move on. Let's move on as a country. Give Donald Trump his next justice pick so that we can continue not to fundamentally transform America, but to go back to the founding of what America truly was, the ideologies of our founding fathers, and not allowing judges to rewrite law, to create definitions to words, recreate words, and redefine words. That's not what activist judges are supposed to do. And that's why we voted Donald Trump, because I'm telling you, guys, putting judges on the Supreme Court and fundamentally changing the Supreme Court from these liberal activist judges and changing it back to the way it should be, constitutional, constructionist, you will have a country that can be changed and will be changed for generations to come. Donald Trump appointing hundreds, 800, 900 circuit court judges across the country. They call them the threes. Those circuit court judges, the third circuit court judges, are life appointments. And Donald Trump is absolutely making a big difference for America. And I'm telling you, fingers crossed, guys, the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals, which has always been a joke, that's why we call it the circus, Donald Trump is fundamentally changing that from being a liberal activist judge court to becoming a little bit swaying, a little bit more moderate, and hopefully getting back to the constitutional grounding that the judges should be and not activists. So as we start out the show, we'll talk about Donald Trump news, and our good buddy over there on Twitter at Robert Dunlop 947. This is a great patriot to follow, Bob Dunlop. Speak the truth, sister. Fist bump. The only reason Democrats want illegal aliens in this country is no U.S. citizen would vote for their stupid. So what are you saying, Bob? Without voter fraud or activist judges, nothing the left wants would pass. And this by a conservative black American woman. This is what Democrats hate. They hate women that are beautiful, intelligent, walking away from the Democrat plantation, and we absolutely applaud you.
My children are dreamers. My 7 grandchildren are dreamers. Then they are citizens and should come first.
Yes.
For the last 2 years, I've literally have been behind my president 100%.
Me too.
I have been looking at him and researching him since the lifestyle of the rich and famous. President Trump, stand tall, stand strong. We got your back. And we're going to keep our president back until you build the wall. 10 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet tall. Build the wall.
I'm telling you guys, I have never in my lifetime seen so many people so vocally outspoken against the Democrats and for the president of the United States. Social media has made it just unbelievably awesome to be able to connect with you. You be able to connect with me every day. Folks, technology has given us the ability to create this show in the showroom, the studio that we built here, underground bunker, just to let you know, in case there's crazies on, they're trying to hunt me down, trying to dox me. I ain't gonna happen. I'm good to go. But with that, we are able to connect and bring you real news every single day and expose the fake news. Guys, it has never been so important as it is right now for us to continue to keep on keeping on with the show. Jump down, become a Patreon in the link in the description below. Help us continue to make a difference in America by becoming a Patreon for $1, $2, whatever the good Lord above has blessed you with. By becoming a Patreon, you are actually helping to change the narrative in America. You are actually a part of this huge transition from a country that was in the midst of a coup d'etat to where we're actually turning the corner and Donald Trump making a difference in the lives of all Americans, even the ones that hate him. You are making a difference by becoming a Patreon of our show, Smyth TV. And I thank you to the Patreons that we already have. I thank you so much for the years that you've been with us. It was you guys originally that helped to be able to create this show. Now we're doing it 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. We need more Patreons to continue to make that happen and make the difference. And this at Super Elite Texan. For decades, Democrats have systematically destroyed the black population in our country. Laws designed to remove fathers from the home, more black children aborted than born, failed education to ensure poverty. This is just a few atrocities liberals and Democrats committed.
You guys want to fund illegal immigrants, and you left 7 African-American people out on the street homeless with no help on the Anzac property. And I am one of the victims. And you guys have the nerve to sit up here and help illegal immigrants. And me and 7 other people and my child was kicked out of a home due to housing corruption in your district. And you are well aware of it. The American people are fearful currently now due to the Mexican cartels who are upset because they are going to be deported. And now they are attacking American families. And my son was one of them that was attacked by these Hispanic cartels. And these are the type of dangerous people you guys have in our country. And it's Americans first. And we will call the federal government on all of you guys to get our country back.
Go Trump! I get emotional about this show. Sick of this shit. Motherfuckers in Detroit ain't even got nowhere to stay. Homeless people on the street. And y'all want to get these motherfuckers money. Y'all want to give them cars. Y'all want to give them businesses and shit. And they don't even like America. For real. They get their money and say they shit back over there. Stores, they got grocery stores. The motherfuckers getting food stamps. They driving around in $67,000 Range Rovers with an EBT card in their pocket. I got a motherfucker 207 Ion and I can't even get no damn stamp.
sanctuary cities are racist. The black communities alone have been destroyed by illegal immigration. It's like we're going through the second civil rights movement. I'm an American citizen. My people have been here since the start of this country. Trace back from the person, which was a female, off the slave ship. My people were here, okay? I have Native American in me, I have Asian in me, I have European, and I have African. And I'm not going anywhere. Again, I say sanctuary cities are racist. All the jobs are going to illegal and concerned denominations. That is wrong. You're not going to be allowed to get away with it. Your time is going to be up. You want us to feel for your families, but you don't feel for our families. Again, the black community has literally been destroyed by racist, illegal immigration, and we're not going to have it. When my people do a crime, we get respite. Your people do a crime, they get amnesty, they get benefits, and they're not paying taxes. Okay? Publication 17 IRS. They're allowing you people to claim people in Mexico. I can even claim people in New Orleans when there was a flood. I can claim my people. I end up moving down there. But it's over. It's over. Thank God for Trump.
We are with you, President Trump. This is truly emotional, folks. And the one gentleman that was in there, Henry Davis, good friend of the show, absolutely one to follow. And on his profile page on Twitter says, President and founder of the Conservative Urban Project Incorporated, fighting for the hood. These are the families that have been destroyed by Democrat policies for decades, guys, decades, going back to 100 years. These are the lost and the forgotten ones. You want to call Donald Trump a racist? You want to call Donald Trump hating America, hating blacks, that's nonsense. Donald Trump in 3 years has done more for black America than the Democrat Party with your Biden, Clintons, all of them. Joe Biden been in office 44 years. Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, 30 years respectively. You got Chuck Hughes Schumer, another 30-some years. There's 90 years between the three of them. Throw Biden on top of that, 44 years. Hillary Clinton been in and around, destroying everything. And I'm telling you, you guys have to walk away. Hashtag walk away. We are fighting for you right here on this show. We are fighting for you to get the real information out. And knowing that this is your home, we welcome you. The Trump organization, the Trump party has hijacked the Republican GOP. We got Ronna McDaniels in there, GOP chairwoman, fighting for Americans, supporting Donald Trump. That is who we are. Nationalism, not white nationalist. Somebody says white nationalist, they're racist because they're calling out the skin color of the individual. You can be black, you can be Indian, you can be Asian, you can be whatever you want. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. If you support your country, you support your values and your ideologies, you are a nationalist. Us Americans that want our America back the way that it was founded, we are nationalists. People in Canada complaining that, Trudeau wrecking the country. People in Canada that want Canada to be Canada are Canadian nationalists. And we've got to continue to talk about this because the left is coming hardcore with the racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe. They're all out on the racism when it comes to Donald Trump, all out on the racism when it comes to us Americans. And this, our good friend at Paul Weston Eden, fight the good fight, replying to Pam Keith, FL, a former Democrat nominee, Congresswoman. She tweets out, when I see someone in a MAGA Trump gear, I assume they want me to know that they're racist and they hate me. I take stock and act accordingly. Same with the stars and bars. They wear it to let me know where they stand. It's not just that they believe something. It's that they want me to know. So noted that we're racist. And she puts up a meme of someone doing the moonwalk on the Confederate flag. And our good friend, again, tweets out, that's a lot of racists. Makes you wonder if it's your racism. Shows a map of the 2016 election county level results. This at sassafras Miss Ronnie, replying to Stephen King, the writer, because he says Trump's worldview simplified. If you disagree with my policies, you hate America because I am America. She replies, a radical leftist worldview simplified. If you don't agree with me, you're a racist. And this at Adriana DT31, Mr. McBeevy, great patriot to follow. MSNBC, yes, declare we have to start calling Trump supporters racist as well. As long as you do it from your ivory tower, I guess you'll be safe. Do not try it in a flyover America. No guarantees. If you see racist everywhere, it might just be you. Yeah, that's a weekly show on MSNBC, AM Joy. AM Joy at some point in time had me blocked for a while. She's since have switched handles, so I don't think I'm blocked anymore. But yeah, she's a black American, and with her panel, all black individuals calling Trump supporters racist. So our good friends, Candace Owens, our good friends, Terrence Williams, who happen to be darker skinned than me, are racist. You guys have gone so far to the left, so insane, that you're now calling people of different colors and different ethnicities because of their belief and their idea in a better, safer America, in a more prosperous America, and in an America where Christianity flourishes and is okay to thrive because Christianity is all about love and freedom. The religion of peace. That would be Christianity. That makes you a racist? You guys, we got social media exposing you every single night right here. You guys are the racist. You got to understand this. You're the racist. And so the left is attempting to overthrow the 2020 election, and they're attempting to do that by tagging Donald Trump as a racist, whereas in the fact he's done it through their own words. He has shown that the Democrat Party is the racist, and they do hate America as the America that way it was founded. The founding of this country for all men to be equal, all men and women to be equal. I get somebody triggered that all men and women, all human beings they're created equal in the eyes of God. That's the way this country was founded. This country was founded for man to be free. Republicans had to unite, conservatives, if you will, had to unite with the Democrats and the liberals that wanted their slaves in order to save this country in 1776. We had to unite and fight that battle another day. As soon as we declared our independence from England, and as soon as that was over, and the very minute that we could continue, the abolitionists came out chanting and screaming from the tops of the hills. And guys, it's the same way with abortion. Because of Roe v. Wade, 1973, I was 6 months. I could have been aborted because Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court ruled on that 6 months before my birth. I could have been aborted. We are now fighting that atrocity for 46 years to turn the corner. Ohio's turned the corner, heartbeat law. Texas turned the corner, heartbeat law. It is taking a long time, but we're absolutely doing it. Just in the case of slavery, it has taken us Christian conservatives a long time to defeat the liberals and the angry hatefuls of the slave days who wanted slavery. It has taken us a long time to get that done. It's taking us a long time to show Black America that the Democrats don't want you alive. Harvesting the bodies of Black babies, men and women, little baby boys, little baby girls, harvesting them at Planned Parenthood and selling the body parts. More babies are aborted in the Black community than are born. This beyond anything. Even Hillary Clinton during the last debate, and Donald Trump called her out, just took her to task and said she's willing to rip the baby out of the womb all up until the day the baby is born. She said that on The View. She didn't refute that during the debate. This is the evils of the Democrat Party. Northam out of Virginia, a white Democrat governor, blackface, white hood back in college. That's acceptable. That's okay. I've never done that, but that's acceptable. That's okay. Allowing and wanting babies to be murdered even after birth. There's your Democrat Party right there. And now we've got the Democrats in Hollywood. Attempting to interfere with the election, guys. Hollywood interfering with the election of 2020 by making videos and attempting to use their influence to sway voters to not vote for Trump. Mueller's coming it down. He's not going to give them what they want. I'm telling you right now. And as we get into the Spygate and all the atrocities that had happened during this time, the attempt to coup, these people should be tried and should be tried for treason, sedition, whatever fits the bill. I'm definitely saying sedition, maybe even treason. But here's what Hollywood is putting out there.
In 2016, the Russian government attacked our democracy.
They interfered in the presidential election in sweeping and systematic fashion.
Yes, by working with Hillary Clinton and the Clinton campaign, Fusion GPS, and Christopher Steele. All right, enough of that, guys. I don't want to have to torch you too much. This is what the left is doing. And if you see a video from something called This Now, that is the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. The liberal Hollywood elitists are coming out to lie and to trick and to convince those that are not plugged into the media and into the news that there was still the Russian collusion with Donald Trump. Look at how bad that, guys, you guys are the smartest people out there. You guys are the smartest ones out there. You know, as much as I know, the EpochTimes.com knows all the investigative reporting that everyone has done. We know the facts. We know exactly what happened, when it happened, how it happened. Our friend George Papadopoulos and the stories behind what they did to him. Robert Mueller throwing a bag, a duffel bag, of $10,000 cash at our good friend in Cyprus, attempting to trick him, to arrest him, to call him some kind of a criminal that he was not, attempting to say that, yes, see, look, this is Donald Trump's main guy working with collusion in Russia. George Papadopoulos arrives at the airport at Dulles, and who's there to greet him? Before he even gets through customs, they detain him and his wife, take him to the back room for hours, 36 hours straight under the grill, separating him and his fiance, lying to him about his fiance, lying to his fiance about him. The stress was so much that his fiance was actually rushed to the hospital, to the emergency room, because she had a miscarriage. This is the Gestapo FBI. This is the Gestapo Mueller investigation, ruining lives and killing babies. You guys got a murder on your hands right here. Seth Rich, I'm just saying, you got murders over there because you didn't want to be found out of who you were and what you were doing, Rod Rosenstein. The Hillary Clinton campaign. Let's talk about the emails. Let's talk about the 33,000 she deleted. Let's talk about the bleach bit and the computers that she destroyed that were subpoenaed. She was under subpoena and told to give up this stuff and didn't, refused to. Her lawyers held onto their laptops and computers for months before Comey says, oh, well, we made a deal for immunity if they handed over their laptops. And when they did, they were bleach bitted, so there was no information. There was no there. This is the most crooked criminal element that we're looking at right now, the propaganda coming out of Hollywood, the propaganda coming out of MSNBC, and the fake news journalists that are not journalists. CNN, fake news. Folks, if this stuff makes you angry as it makes me, you've got to jump down in the description below and fund the show. Become a Patreon over at the patreon.com. Go over to Smyth.tv. Help us continue to fight the good fight and exposing these people for who they are. And this over at Just Say Truth Now, our good friend Linda Evans. Most people have no idea what nationalism means. The way you talk about it, you haven't the foggiest idea. Don't you support our own nation, its interest, and put your nation above all other nations? If you do, then you are a nationalist. Doesn't matter your color. I'm a nationalist. She's responding to Juan Williams, who says from thehill.com, at this point, it's hard to tell where the white nationalist movement ends and the real Donald Trumps radical politics begins. And this at Sarah Carter, D.C., Representative Adam Schiff labels hashtag Trump an unindicted co-conspirator. And this, her writer at Jeannie Staer. Definitely two great patriots to follow. I couldn't do it for you guys. It was about 3 minutes of the most painful, grueling interview that Adam Schiff just gave. You got Sarah Carter writing about it, calling Donald Trump an unindicted co-conspirator and floating the conspiracy theory that he may be arrested after he leaves office because you can't indict a sitting president. This is going to end very bad for the Democrat Party. You see the ratings of MSNBC and CBS and Rachel Madcow as there's no there with the Mueller report, and all of a sudden Rachel Madcow loses literally half her audience overnight. You can't continue to gaslight people. When the truth finally shows up and the truth comes out, there are repercussions that are going to happen, and losing your audience, well, that's what happens. You cannot continue to lie and be a so-called journalist, talk show host like me right here. Folks, I would never lie to you. If I'm ever wrong or mistaken about something, I will absolutely come back out and I will tell you. There's been a couple instances. I believed at one time there were three drones that were shot down for whatever reason. I was reading an article, and that's what I gathered from it, but there wasn't. There was one drone shot down. Iran shot down one drone. I corrected myself. No big deal. But I will never flat out lie to you like the fake news, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, the Democrats, the old dog Republican Party that we are getting rid of, the rhino Republicans that are dying off, and we are replacing them. We have hijacked this party, and we will continue to make America great. All colors under the Trump party, all colors involved, all America for one nationalist America. We all believe in each other and our country, and as it stands, the globalists and the Democrats and the socialists want nothing but to divide and conquer by race, by gender, by sex, by whatever. And when I say sex, I'm talking LGBTQ, LMNOP. You guys need to wake up and understand that they've got you enslaved, and that we over here, us Christians over on the conservative right, the Christians, embrace you. You guys are just like us. We're all sinners. We all sin. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'll never get into your business and tell you that you should be doing something different in your relationships, and that I don't agree with it, but I'm not gonna condone you. I'm not gonna put you down. I'm not gonna make fun of you. I'm not gonna say anything about that. It's not important. What I will say is that, hey, why don't you check out, possibly developing a relationship with Jesus Christ and see how that works out. I'm just saying. And our good friend at Paul Weston Eden, he made the show a couple times today. They're doing a great job. You come up with a new lie to obsess on every single week. Who are your writers? We are laughing. Adam Schiff, once again, Representative Adam Schiff, Russian attacked our democracy to help Trump win. Trump's campaign welcomed and used that help. And then Trump covered it up. As Mueller said, this should concern every American. On Wednesday, watch Mueller testify before the House Intel Committee. And this, a great patriot to follow, at El Service. 2 U.S. officials briefed on IG's investigation of FBI misconduct said Comey was essentially running a covert operation against President Trump and was actually conducting counterintelligence assessment of Trump during that January 2017 meeting in New York. This by RealClearInvestigations.com. And this at RealTT2020. They tried to set up General Flynn at Trump War Room, has evidence. This on Fox by Catherine Heritage.
was already under FBI investigation during the 2016 presidential transition. And there was no FBI briefing warning the campaign of an open investigation into Flynn, what they would call a defensive briefing. And it was previously thought Flynn's phone calls with the Russian ambassador led to the FBI probe, and now we know that was not the case.
General Flynn went through 19 sessions with the special counsel, approximately 90 hours of torturous interviews, and this never came up the entire time. And you would have thought it would have. And they would have maybe, focused on that. But it didn't come up at all. It was an absolute surprise when the Mueller report came out.
In February 2016, as Flynn's role in the Trump campaign became public, out of the blue, the Kova says she was invited to a private dinner with Halper.
I believe that General Flynn was targeted, and I was used to do that.
The allegations center on a 2014 seminar and dinner at England's University of Cambridge. At the time, General Mike Flynn ran military intelligence for President Obama. Lukova says 3 American media outlets contacted her over a 4-day period, alleging suspicious contact with Flynn in 2014.
I sat on the opposite side of the table to Flynn.
Were you alone with General Flynn before, during, or after the dinner?
I have never been alone with General Flynn.
During the 2016 campaign, Halper also contacted Trump campaign aides. Halper has refused requests for comment about his government work.
That was George Papadopoulos, Corsi, and Carter Page. Picture there just last. Halper was being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars from the FBI to create what could be considered the Russian collusion, the actual smoking gun of the Russian connection. And before I forget, Hollywood claimed that nobody read the Mueller report. We all read the Mueller report. Not only we all read the Mueller report, but congressional elected officials went through it page by page and read the entire thing on the floor. What are you talking about? Where are you guys living? Okay, back to our good buddy General Flynn, who's a friend of the show, follows the show. I've talked to him many times, have had discussions with his son. I've never brought up this Russian narrative. That's it's not important in the sense that I don't need to talk to them and depose them or whatever about the whole situation because they were under investigation at the time. But what is very important is that the FBI, Gestapo-like tactics, destroyed a man's life, filed bankruptcy, sold his house, threatened to throw his son in prison for what? You can indict a ham sandwich. They indicted Flynn Jr. for what? And now he's not indicted anymore. Mueller investigation's over. And now General Flynn has got a new lawyer, Sidney Powell, who's going to go right after this Department of Justice. She's written all about it. She knows all about what had happened. We know all about what had happened. And again, she's reporting, Catherine Heritage reporting that General Flynn was under investigation before Donald Trump brought him on board. We know why. Because General Flynn knew all about, because he was working in the Obama administration, knew all about what Hillary Clinton was doing with Russia, knew all about what Obama was doing. General Flynn knew it all, and they had to put him under investigation to shut him up. And then they had a fortuitous opportunity to get him into the Trump campaign under investigation, not telling the Trump campaign, not telling anybody that this has already been launched against him. It's so egregious. It's just so egregious. Tapping, wiretapping, listening to phone calls, investigating Trump, investigating Carter, Papadopoulos, Jerome Corsi, who's got his $320 million lawsuit. Jerome Corsi coming out saying that Mueller forced him under duress to lie under oath about the Trump campaign. He's now come out and said, nope. Yep, they forced me to do it, and here's what happened. Here's how it went down, and it was an absolute lie, and now I am suing them. Judge has already okayed the lawsuit to go through. Again, like I was saying, Stephen Halper at the FBI as an informant planted inside the Trump 2016 campaign received over $411,000 from the Department of Defense on September 26, 2016. That was just a few months before the election. This was a full-blown coup d'etat, and we're exposing it right here in real time. These individuals need to go to prison for a long time. Some of these individuals may even face the death penalty. I don't make no bones about it whatsoever. So as we're talking about people who don't care about America as founded and want to fundamentally transform America as a globalist entity, those people rising to the top with power, enslaving all the citizenry and removing the middle class, that's not hyperbole. That is fact. Look at what happened to Venezuela. That's exactly what happened to them. And that's what they were attempting to do in America. Now we've got racists coming after Trump. Mainstream media is calling racist. Now we got Democrats calling Mueller. Remember, their first witness that they called, Cohen, thrown to prison for lying to Congress. Yeah, right. Democrats now calling Mueller to testify. Mueller says, I got nothing else to say. It's all right here in the report. If Mueller testifies and says anything different than the report under oath, there's more reason to put Mueller in jail. And now we got the Democrat Party coming after Trump, the four horsewomen, and our good friend at A Red Pill Report breaking. Ilhan Omar supporters caught attempting to dox a Somali whistleblower who revealed Omar's crimes. It's our good friend at Alexa_America. They were known for killing people, known for making people disappear, known for permanently disabling people. Hashtag Sharia law. Persecution is martyrdom. Forced conversions, family threats, church destruction and attacks, personal violence. Persecution is not humane. Retweet if you agree. This is Islam in other countries on display, and this is what Islam is doing in America. Religion of Peace, hashtag never forget, CARE Hamas linked documentary, time for Ilhan Omar, fails to mention Omar's wish to eradicate DHS, 9/11 indifference, actually she said Allahu Akbar after 9/11, venom and vitriol for Jewish people and Israel, Al-Qaeda obsession, desire for Sharia law. This will not be a nation of white people. That is in America. As we expose Islam for what it is, this is an elected official, Ilhan Omar in Minnesota, a Somali refugee who was saved from in Somalia during war torn, saved and given the greatest opportunity anyone can ever have in the world. And you are the most ungrateful, hate-filled individual we have ever seen in office, and you're destroying the Democrat Party because the middle class, middle of the road voters, the independents, those people don't want this. They don't want the hate and the anger that you bring to the table. They don't want Al-Qaeda. They don't want Sharia law. They don't want the socialist ideologies and the communist enslavement that Islam brings to any country it is set up in. And this at Zionist Girl 18, watch expose of American Muslims for Palestine, anti-Semitism and terror support, hashtag AMP, aims to destroy, hashtag Israel, by influencing American politicians, public, and Jews from the left. Video 1 of 2. And this, our good friend at Winston Kofefe, illegal immigrants. Also talking about illegal Muslim immigrants coming from other countries that are on the country banned list. You cannot be in America. We now know that there's tens of thousands coming through the border, coming into America, plotting jihad and terror in America, as we have terrorists, elected officials in America. And again, our good buddy Kofefe, thank you so much, Winston. Illegal immigrants drive child sex crime charges in North Carolina. In North Carolina, during the past 18 months, more than 331 illegal aliens have been charged with 1,172 child rapes and child sexual assaults. This at the Epoch Times. I bring this up because in the culture of Islam, it is legal. Muhammad did it. Got together with a 6-year-old and consummated the marriage. And when she was 9, they are known for rape. We know what they do. They do it in public. It's condoned in the Quran to beat your wife and keep her in line, keep her enslaved. They're arresting women in these countries that are Sharia compliant, they're arresting women by the dozens who protest and take off the hijab, which, I've said it before, wearing the hijab, wearing the garb, covers up your facial features, covers up who you are, and is an absolute abomination and a destruction of your self-esteem and your personal self-worth. That in itself is mental slavery. Wearing the hijab is mental slavery, keeping women locked up and locked down, let alone talk about FGM, female genital mutilation. That's what they do. They do this to remove the most beautiful gift that God has given a man and a woman who become married. The most beautiful, sacred gift is that gift, that connection that you make with your wife or your husband. They destroyed the beautiful gift that God has given to a woman. They have removed that from your body so that you no longer have that gift. This is the Democrat Party. This is them on display. This is what they're embracing because they know Islam will end up doing the exact same thing that socialism and communism will do. They know that that's how they'll do it this time around because Islam is compiled of human beings. Okay? It's a human. They're putting a human aspect to it, and I understand what they're doing. And it's going to be very, very difficult to stop this because of the human aspect. There is no trail of tears. We as Christians must embrace those that are enslaved and show them the way out of slavery to the religion of peace and freedom through Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, that's the only way we're going to win this. And speaking about winning this, out of the 24 Democrats that are running for president of the United States, I know it is absolutely insane. The ones that are running have no chance. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows. The media is complaining to the Democrat Party. Guys, we just can't get these people to win. I mean, Hillary had a chance because it wasn't an incumbent. It was a different set of circumstances, and that Hillary Clinton was had the media in the bag, had the Russian collusion in the bag, had it all wrapped up. But God had other plans. And we thank you so much, Lord above. We pray every day for the gift of Donald Trump. Thank you, sir. So what's to happen? What's to come? Are they going to try and do something else? I mean, they got to, right? Rush Limbaugh's got an idea. And this is our good friend at Real Jack. This is Jack Murphy. Rush Limbaugh drops bombshell about Michelle Obama running for president in 2020. What do you guys think? This at trendingpolitics.com. I wouldn't put it past them. As Rush Limbaugh talks about it, Rush Limbaugh says that he believes if it's going to happen, he says if, gives a caveat, which is true. I mean, it can't be, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? However, if they do run Michelle Mabel, what they're going to do is they're going to do it towards the end, where all hope has been lost, where the media, the mainstream media, is reporting polling numbers of Donald Trump winning 97% to 3, when the mainstream media is starting to talk about, man, we can't help these Democrat politicians. They're falling out, total despair. She's going to jump in at the last minute to save the day. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think you could drum up that many Americans to actually make a difference. And this being Donald Trump's incumbent reelection, it just doesn't make any sense. He's an incumbent. He automatically, naturally already has a leg up. Not only that, but his policies are working. People are happy. Barack Obama, the black community has seen you for who you are, and they're fighting against what you did to them. Our good buddy Henry walked away. Brandon Strzok is not black, but Brandon was a full-blown Democrat and a hardcore liberal. He walked away. We've seen what your policies do. You're destroying America. Your policies destroyed all kinds of things that were out there, and we were in an absolute free fall under your administration. To bring Michelle, Michelle? No. She doesn't have any gravitas. She doesn't have, there's no history behind her. She can't even practice law. Their law license has been removed from her. But I'm saying there's just no history behind who she is and what she can do. And again, it's possible, but not probable. And if she does run for office, and Barack Obama's ideologies and policies are put back in place, we know what to expect. And this our good friend at McGuire Scotty McGuire. Venezuela. Since communism, the electric grid has been in disrepair. Now major blackout leaves most of the country in the dark. Hashtag Venezuela. Hashtag Caracas. And this at Pedal2D Metals and at God Loves USA 1. This is thanks to de Blasio, MSM, and liberals encouraging disrespect towards law enforcement, NYPD officers trying to make an arrest in Harlem, but getting doused with buckets of water. One cop is hit in the head with a hard plastic bucket. No arrests were made because of Mayor de Blasio. And this, our good friend at Julie Rinkwin1, she tweets out a lot of Laura Loomer's articles. If you want to stay close to Laura Loomer and some of the information coming out, absolutely follow Julie Rinkwin. She is a great patriot. Video, jeering men douse New York Police Department officers with buckets of waters. Police blame de Blasio. Laura Loomer official, this is her article. You remember that? You remember all the protests and all the hate and all the anger, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all that stuff that was going on under Barack Obama, the Islam coming to America, wreaking havoc and terror on the American people to divide and conquer us. Guys, we cannot forget about what Barack Obama did. We cannot forget about the mullahs that he was involved with, the Muslim Brotherhood that he was involved with, sending over dozens and dozens of F-16 to the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, and it just is so awful. As soon as he was elected, as he did his tour of apologia tour, this is not what America is, and this is not what we want in America. Sending Iran hundreds of billions of dollars in cash. This is not what we want, and this is not what the world needs. We need more peace, and we need to stop all of this hate and this anger. You saw what's going on in New York. There's no way I would ever put up with this. Mayor de Blasio in the camp with Barack Obama, polling at -0. Nobody wants him. Cities, I don't know how he got elected mayor. It's just beyond me out there in New York. The police department is at odds with him, to say the least. And now we've got citizens, as he's trying to make an arrest, dousing them with buckets of water as they turn away, walk away. The cops walked away. No arrests were made. This is the Obama era type mentality. This is what this is the havoc that Obama wreaked. Lawlessness. That's why his administration will forever be remembered as a lawless administration, creating lawlessness in America. And this at Rudy Giuliani, former officials caught advising Iran on how to defeat Trump's foreign policy. The former Obama officials are advising a regime of terror. They have murdered hundreds of thousands in their own people and many Americans. What's happening? This at Infowars.com. And they used one of Donald Trump's older tweets. Donald Trump tweeted out the 13th of September, 2018. So over a year and a half ago almost, at Real Donald Trump. John Kerry had illegal meetings with the very hostile Iranian regime, which can only serve to undercut our great work to the detriment of the American people. He told them to wait it out, the Trump administration. Was he registered under the Foreign Agents Registration Act? Bad news. Yes, this is absolutely going on. And the reason why Rudy Giuliani pointed this article out and tweeted this out is because the article says, and it also references the Daily Beast, which is a hardcore left-leaning article as well, that this is continuing to go on. The Trump administration is now battling the former Barack Obama administration in dealing with world affairs. This is what you would get under Michelle Mabel. This is what you would have gotten under Hillary Clinton administration. This is the havoc that would have happened that we now have been able to stop because of Donald Trump. And the TDS is on display, Trump derangement syndrome. It is real. It is affecting just about everyone in Hollywood. And now we see a video from around the country of people being attacked for just wearing a MAGA hat. I got mine here. I never leave home without it. Got my MAGA hat right here. And it's all good on West Side Cincinnati. You can get away with this here. This at BEAGLE, babe. Woman with TDS vandalizes Trump sign, gets car stuck as she flees, LOL. Case involving 2020 campaign sign leads to criminal charges. Yes, I'd like to remind you all, and we do have trolls on the show every once in a while, remind you all, you damage a Trump sign, you steal a Trump sign, anything to do with Trump stuff, that is a federal crime. You're not allowed to take signs, you're not allowed to steal them, you're not allowed to move them. There have been all kinds of undercover footage of mayors and different council members, video footage of them stealing their competitors' signs and things like that. You will be charged, absolutely. And this woman getting her car stuck in the mud. Isn't that funny? I really do believe that God does have a really good sense of humor. I honestly do. I think when we all meet in heaven, we're hanging out with Jesus, hanging out with God, there'd be nonstop laughter. There'd be all kinds of fun and games and just happy paradise, guys. Paradise cannot be created here on earth. We are flawed human beings who created the laws and created the system. So the system is naturally flawed. Take comfort in knowing that we won half the battle by electing Donald Trump as president of the United States. Take comfort in knowing that God will get the final revenge, and that revenge is not ours. Do not live in that, and take comfort in knowing that we are all going out. Trump 2020, this has got to be a landslide to send the establishment Republicans, the Bushes, the Clintons, all of them, the Jeff Flakes of the world, the McCains of the world, let them know, and a resounding trumpeting to Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, just let them all know that you guys are doing a good job by staying in line and supporting not Donald Trump, because we will vote you out. And this, our good friend at BMC Adori 9. Here's Ernie Perney on Varney and Company at Varney CO, also known as Stuart Varney, about Democrats attacking the booming economy.
I'm surprised to hear the Democrats trying to attack the president on the economy. What are you going to do about that?
If Democrats plan to run on the economy in 2020, they are campaigning to re-elect President Trump to a second term. It's as simple as that. They're going to ask Americans to not believe reality that they see with their eyes. 90% of Americans received a higher paycheck because of the Trump tax cuts. There were 174,000 new jobs created in Arizona alone, one of the states they're trying to target, let alone the nearly 500,000 jobs created in Florida. Democrats can try their best, but this economy is booming, and that's because of President Trump's policies.
I agree too, 100%. The policies and the decisions that Donald Trump is making a huge difference in America, in the economy. Deregulation, the killer of communism and socialism. And communism and socialism only survive and get a stranglehold of capitalism by having unelected officials force upon us new laws. They're not been elected, but they're making new laws, unelected officials, forcing us down, keeping us down, stifling the economy. And that's what Donald Trump knew. He knew it. We all knew it, guys. But Donald Trump went in there removing and ripping out all these regulations to allow a playing field for capitalism to thrive, to drive up wages, to drive up more employment, unemployment at the lowest, for men, women, of all colors, of all creeds. Just unbelievable economy that we're having. And again, like I was saying, folks, if you want to continue to keep getting the news, real news out, exposing the fake news and giving you the real news every single night, Monday through Friday, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern, jump down into the description below, hit the Patreon button, become a Patreon of this show, help support us being able to turn this around and help Donald Trump make America great. Having a great time talking about making this country great. It's just awesome, folks. Never more time to be alive than now. What an incredible time. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you for making America great. Thank you for your policies and your ideologies. Thank you for embracing 62 million Americans and telling us and letting us know that you are sick and tired, as we are sick and tired, the voiceless, us, sick and tired of being taken advantage of, and that you have become the voice of America. Thank you, sir, for your patriotism. And thank you for everything you do. All right, guys, that being said, Tuesday Thoughts. Woo, tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be a big day with Mueller. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll see you later. Have a good night.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.